We got this. Hell yeah. Alright. Hi, welcome to Pots and Plants with Pots
And plants.
Hell yeah.
We're doing not planty things today.
This is not a planty thing. This isn't even really a potty thing, if we're gonna be real honest. I got some here, but that's just for my own mental well-being. We're doing some spooky things today.
Yeah. We're ghost hunting today, y'all.
With the required snacks, of course. Because you gotta take snacks.
Alright, I'm gonna put my keys up there.
Alright.
So, hello friends. We're in Potts' basement, with our, I set up a protective circle with candles and, deer bones with protective sigils written on them that are at on each side of us in a diamond shape, I guess.
So the reason we're doing this is because there have been a couple of weird things that have happened around my house that make me and my roommates believe this house might be haunted. And so I presented plants with the, hey, should we maybe do like a seance thing, try to reach out? Because it doesn't seem harmful. It just seems like it likes
Like a
to...
prankster.
Yeah, it seems like a prankster. He just wants to startle and scare us.
Yeah.
We've been calling them Great Grandma Phyllis.
Yes.
And Grandma Phyllis has not seemed to be upset about this so far. So we're just
candles in frame.
yeah. So yeah, and we are doing a seance to try to see if there's anything here. That is why we're being very protective, very safe. We're doing things. We're not. We will preface this by saying we are not doing a Ouija board. We will never do a Ouija board. That shit is dangerous as fuck. It was designed as a children's game, and somehow it became a very real thing that can hurt you and your friends. So do not ever do a Ouija board, which is why we are not doing it.
Or at the very least, don't do it as an inexperienced person without the proper protection and knowledge of how to use it and how to use it properly, and with the right, like I said, like with the right protective barriers between you and the negativity that you are opening the door to.
Yeah, but how many times do you think that a professional is going to watch our amateur ghost hunting video?
They're not. But like, you could preface it with a, don't do it ever. But if you're gonna do it right. Like, because.
But preferably don't do it ever, because most people will not do it right.
It's like safe sex.
You're gonna do it,
You're
do
gonna
it
do
right,
it anyway.
but it's better not to do it.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna do it right. Do it where you protect yourself.
But anyway, so yes, we're being as very careful about this as possible. We're not doing a whole lot to mess with anything. We're just trying to see if our predictions are correct, and there may be something here. Yeah. It's not to disturb anything. It's not to expunge anything.
What it is that's happened to you and your roommates as far as like
so
paranormal activity.
So at least in my roommate's experience, she's been in our front bathroom, which used to be a closet that was transformed into a half bath. And she's been in there, and she's heard banging, like someone banging on the door, when neither me nor our other roommate were home, which was very scary. And then one day I was in our other restroom, which is closer to my room, and I was using the restroom, and the toilet is right next to the door. And suddenly the door handle turned and it opened. And I didn't see anyone outside of it. I screamed. I didn't see anyone outside of it. And then when I double checked with my roommate, she's like, no, I've been in my room the whole time. And I'm inclined to believe her, because why the fuck would you do that? Like, that doesn't really make any sense. Yeah. So we're just like, okay, so this is a little weird. So maybe there may be something here with us that's just like being a little prankster, having a little fun. And if so, that's fine. Like, we're not trying to, this is not to expel anything. We're not here to wreak havoc. We're literally just curious people going, hey, is there...
exploration.
Yes.
It's an open discussion.
Yes.
If you will. Oh, I had an idea, because this has been a trending thing on TikTok. We're 1,000% gonna have to do the manga AI thing on your house and see if it pops up with any people-shaped things.
Oh gosh, I didn't even know.
In pictures.
Oh, I didn't know that was.
Yeah, no, you take a picture of something and then you use the anime or manga AI filter on TikTok, and then it changes it to look like, you know, a scene out of an anime or whatever. But a lot of people are using it to ghost hunt because they think that the AI like picks up on things that we don't see.
Oh, interesting.
So I've seen a couple of people do that. As like, I don't know, somebody thinks there's a ghost in our office, so I took pictures. Here's what I found. And I was like, dude, we should do that to your house. Yeah, I have a very unofficial way of hunting for ghosts.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'll throw it into the podcast. Like, here's the pictures we took.
Yeah, sure.
Or we can just take some like pictures with flash. We'll turn all the lights off and take pictures with flash and see if it picks up anything. Like orbs or something. That's usually what I see, but most of the time it's just dust.
Yeah, but
the orbs aren't anything like, you know, crazy. It's just dust. But no.
How dare you insult the great orbs?
Some orbs are legit. Most of them are dust.
True. All right. So where do we want to start? Like, I don't even know where to start.
I don't know. Do you want to like talk about our experiences with ghosts first, and then that kind of like gives it more time to be later?
Sure.
And darker, and we have our incense going, and
Sure.
just kind of more comfortable.
You can go first though, because I don't know. I need to think about mine, because I am not sure what my experiences with ghosts are.
One of them we had together.
Oh yeah.
Stay pen.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I did do a couple of Ouija boards, so like.
Yep.
You go first.
Probably my first ever experience with the paranormal, ghosts and things. I don't think I am a child that was born with veil. I definitely am not a medium of any kind. I don't think that I have any sort of like paranormal spiritual powers of any sort.
Sorry.
You're good.
It's loud. You just want to peach.
All good to get.
Alright, go ahead.
You're fine. No. Yeah, so I don't think that I have any sort of like paranormal powers. I don't think that I am a medium of any kind. I'm not one of those people that can either see, feel, or hear otherworldly spirits. Unfortunately, as fascinated as I am with the topic and the idea of the existence of ghosts, I don't think that I'm one of those people that can just like outright see them. However, whenever my first cat passed away, Kovu, his favorite thing to do was to lay on our dining room table whenever I was a kid, and he would frequently push anything that I was working on at the dining room table out of his way so he could lay in front of me on the dining room table, and was like, "No, mother, not allowed. Go on, no, move this shit out of my way. I want to lay here and get attention." And so there was one time that I was actually sitting at my dining room table with Jordy, I think, and I had a full, freshly opened can of Coca-Cola sitting on my dining room table in front of me. Keep in mind, I lived in a basement with almost no windows that were all closed, and we had, central air conditioning, but we...
you knew where the positions of these.
But it wasn't on at the time, and even if it was, it doesn't blow strong enough to really move things.
Well,
like it could maybe move an empty can of Coke.
Well, and I know where for one, it was full, and for two, I know where it was positioned in your house and where your table was.
Yeah,
where your
in the
table
middle
was.
of the room.
Yeah, and where your table was, it may be hard enough to blow, but it's not positioned in a way it could have blown onto the table.
Exactly.
So,
And our floors were slanted. I will admit that our floors were slanted. Like, because we lived in a basement, they slanted, in the direction of a drain for flooding purposes or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because we lived in a basement. But the table was on the flattest section of the floor.
Yep.
In the living room. And even then, that minimal amount of a slant isn't enough to make a full can of Coke slide
Oh
across the table.
no.
So all of a is justification for me telling the story.
Let me tell you everything, every reason why I believe this.
Yes.
Before I tell you what happened.
Yes. So I had a completely full, freshly opened can of Coke sitting on my dining room table in my living room. There was no wind drafts of any kind, and it slid across my dining room table, like a good foot.
That's weird.
And and this was like maybe a couple of days after COVID had passed away.
Damn.
Yeah. So that was my first experience with the paranormal, and I still am convinced that was COVID telling me to let go.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was still super distraught. Like I literally cut off all my hair. I was so upset about his passing. And I was a mess. And I was talking to Jordy about how super upset I still was, and how I thought my life was over, it was never gonna get better, I'm this puddle of depression now. And then the can of Coke starts sliding across the dining room table. She can attest to this probably if she remembers it happening. That it moved on its own. So, that was probably my first experience. After that, Jordy would tell me all the time. Jordy is she has told me since she was a little kid that she can see ghosts. All the time. Or at least frequently. Especially when she opens herself up to it. And that she used to see ghosts in my house. My mom's house, all the time. She would frequently see very nuclear family, 40s, 50s era-ish family with the mom with her victory curls and stuff like that, and very her pinafore and goofy dress, and then her husband, who was this large, tall, darkly dressed almost military looking man, in a very thick, dark brown trench coat. Okay. And then apparently they had 2 kids. There was a little boy who liked to play on my stairs, and then there was a little girl who liked to hide in my bathroom. And then I think the girl was the older of the 2 children, and the boy was little. So another possible explanation for the living can of Coke, but I still think it's Coke. And I'm gonna stick to that until the day I die. But yeah, so she would tell me all the time, I see mom over there, and dad's over there, and dad's walking through the kitchen, or whatever, and the little boy's sitting at the top of the stairs again, and so she would tell me these things, fairly frequently, especially when she was younger, when she was a kid, because I think she saw them more the younger she was, and then the older she got, the less she saw them, I think, the less she brought them up.
Well, and you're more prone to seeing them when you're younger. I mean, a lot of, if you look up a lot of, not to tangent off, but if you look up a lot of the facts about, people who have claimed to see ghosts or who claim to be part of that, they all say it was a lot more evident when they were really young, because they're still close to that.
Were strong.
Because they're still close to that spirituality. They're still innocent. They still don't have that prejudice in their mind, that almost wall that grown-ups build up of that's not real. And then as you're older, you almost fight a little bit to see it. So does make sense.
Yeah. So that would happen on occasion, and then that thought was actually, I kind of believed her and kind of didn't, because me also being a young, inconsiderate person was oh, you're just making this shit up, because I was also young. I thought everybody was lying, because I couldn't see them. Then how the fuck did she
most
see them?
people would think she made that shit up.
Yeah. So,
that's not a bad thing.
But I came to the realization that she was not making any of that shit up. whenever John and I were sitting at my mom's dining room table one day, and he was facing the kitchen, and literally watched Dad in a large brown trench coat. And he knew nothing of the stories that Jordy told me. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
He watched Dad in a large brown trench coat walk through my kitchen behind me. And he said, I'm sorry, I think I just saw a ghost in your house. Okay, what was it? It was a dude in a brown trench coat that just walked from that end of your kitchen to that end of your kitchen. And I was like, oh, that's Dad.
It's Dad.
That's Dad. He was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, Jordy said there's a family that lives in my house, and that you just saw Dad. That's what's really fucking cool. And it clicks later in life when you're like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that apartment has ghosts in it, a family from the 50s.
Love that.
One of which is a dad in a large brown trench coat. And it's been corroborated by 2 people.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily my earliest, but the one I can remember would be when I moved to Pleasant Hill. I was 3rd, 4th grade. I was a summer before 3rd grade was when I moved. And it was an old ass house, 2-story farmhouse. I mean, the garage literally had a number in it that was, or like a signature from where you would like mark in concrete, and it said 1903. It was old ass house, and like if you walked upstairs, the entire house would shake. And I just have this very vivid memory of I was home by myself. Don't ask me why I was home by myself. I have no idea
Because of
why.
course that's when everything always happens, is when you're home alone.
Well, that's the thing, is that being that young, I remember my mom didn't want us kids to be home by ourselves. So I don't know why I was home by myself, but I was. There was no one there. My sister wasn't there. My brother wasn't there. My mom wasn't there. And I was laying upstairs in my room. I was over with my sister, and I distinctly remember hearing my mom calling my name. Like flat out calling my name, and she was telling me to come here. And so I was like, what? And so she called my name again, told me to come here. So I went downstairs, and there's no one fucking there.
Skinwalker. I'm sorry, Skinwalker. Because you lived out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
But I've had that happen more than once, where they call where I hear someone calling my name and it's not, no one's there.
Yeah, no, that's Skinwalker behavior.
So apparently I've been tracked by skinwalkers my whole life, because I literally have this shit happen all the time, where I will be somewhere and I will flat out, it's not an imaginary thing.
Person?
No.
No, it's not always your mom.
No. It hasn't been my mom since I lived with her. It's usually someone I live with or someone I'm close to. Mm-hmm. I've heard you do it on one occasion where like, yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
No, when I was
Skinwalkers best not be using my voice, I'll beat the ass.
No, when I was at your house,
I don't like that.
I was working, and I had taken the headphones off, and I was sitting there with the cats, and I swore I heard the door open and your voice saying, Karen, and I got up and went to the door. I swore I heard someone, but when I got up, the door was closed and no one was there. I should also mention that nowadays, not back then, because back then I don't know what the fuck was up their ass, but when I was in high school, I did do a dumb thing and do a Ouija board. That being said, I did a Ouija board in a house that has been in this area since Kansas City was established, and was part of the Underground Railroad. And one girl did get slightly possessed during this Ouija board thing. But I don't think I've been tracked by anything. I'm pretty sure I haven't.
Except for a fucking Skinwalker, if you're hearing something say my name and my dog goes to the door.
Well, like I said, I didn't hear your name. It was mine.
I mean, my voice. Sorry, not my name, my voice.
Still have no
And that was
idea
in
where
my
the
apartment?
Skinwalker is. Yeah.
Like, whenever John and I were in Colorado type of shit.
Yeah.
That's soon. That's recent.
Again, I also heard something on my bathroom door like a week or two later.
No, I know, but like, fuck.
What is
yeah.
a Skinwalker? Like,
Skinwalkers are. I would have to find you a specific definition. But they're basically creatures that mimic other things in order to lure you to them. I'm pretty sure that I'll have to show you like the stories of Skinwalker Ranch and stuff. But Skinwalkers are basically like creatures that hide out in like wooded areas that like to come out and lure people into the woods by mimicking the sounds of people that person trusts, or sometimes they'll even mimic the sounds of their animals.
oh, that's not creepy. at
Yeah,
all.
they'll try to make it sound like, okay, so did my voice sounded just like me?
Yeah.
It just sounded just like me? Or
I mean, I don't know. Like, I
kind
said,
of like me.
probably I don't know. Like,
Did it sound like me, but
I wasn't focused on it enough.
Yeah.
I'll be really honest, because again, I had literally been working, and it was such a weird thing. I always think that I'm imagining shit because that's what I've been told my whole life is you're just imagining shit, and I'm like, okay. And so I thought I was just imagining shit. No, I just swore I heard. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't listening super closely. I just taken my headphones off, and I heard what I thought was your voice saying, Karen. Before that, I thought I heard the door open, so it was like door open, Karen. Ice run over to the door, so I get up. I'm like, what the fuck? Like confused, like what the fuck? Is Kylie here? And because I was at your desk, so I stand up and look around, and door's closed, nothing's there. Ice is looking at the door, like looking at me and back at the door, almost like she has to go out. So I'm like,
But it was at the same time that you heard the door open.
Yeah.
You heard something that sounded like me say your name.
yeah.
Yeah. That's not terrifying at all. But yeah, no, usually whenever skinwalkers mimic the sounds of people or people's pets, it sounds like them, but wrong somehow. Like the tone is like slightly off, or the pitch is altered, or it doesn't sound quite right somehow.
Yeah, like I said, I really don't remember because it was just, like I said, I chalk a lot of this stuff up to I'm imagining stuff, my brain's playing tricks on me.
And I think that your brain is full of shit. No, that's fucking terrible. I'm sorry, but if you hear something and my dog goes to the door because she thinks that I'm home, that's not your brain playing tricks on you, that's a monster.
Well, again, she acted like she had to go pee, so I was like, okay, so
But
I
the
just let the
timing
dog
of
out.
that, the timing of that is wild. No.
It's just what.
No, I vehemently disagree. I think that your brain is trying to tell you something, and you are pushing it, like, down into the depths of you, being like, no, that's crazy, I'm imagining things. No, you should fucking listen.
Listening to shit is hard, my dude.
I know.
Yeah. So,
Alright.
yeah, and then in that same
Things
house.
I didn't know.
In that same house, this girl Maddie, who I also thought was lying. But once you put two and two together, as you were saying, so there was this house was built very, very long ago. So there was like one of those old tornado cellars, but it was one of those ones that's like a shelter, tornado shelter that's like a cellar. So it has like the dome top. And it has like, almost think of Wizard of Oz. Think of that kind of storm cellar where it has the wood door and everything.
Okay.
Well, this one was padlocked shut, and me and my brother would regularly drop things into the opening at the little chimney top because you could hear the water in there because it was flooded. That's part of why it was shut. It was not in use. And Maddie still swears to this day that one night, she woke up and went to my brother's room, which is where you can which is where you could see the cellar out of. So we were on the second, my brother's room. Like, so if you went to the second floor of the house, on one side is my brother's room, on the other side is my sister's room. And in my brother's room, there's the window where you could see out of to see the storm shelter. So she swears she saw that storm cellar door swing open. And mind you, it's padlocked shut. She swears it swung open and she saw things flying out of there. She used the term ghosts, but what she described did not seem like ghosts. Sounded like fucking demons.
Black masses, sort of.
Kind of, yeah. Very creepy. Very creepy.
I'll say some shady shit could have happened in that basement if it was part of the Underground Railroad. I wouldn't be
Well, that
surprised if
wasn't
there
that
was
wasn't the
something.
Underground Railroad.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't the Underground Railroad one. This was my house. The Underground Railroad was a friend of mine's house in town.
Gotcha.
My house was the 2-story yellow farmhouse. That was, I think, built in like 1903. The railroad house was built in like the 1800s.
Some shady stuff still could have happened in that storm cellar.
Oh yeah, no,
Probably some,
absolutely.
distressed souls breaking out or.
Yeah. But
Or
the next
or
day, the
maybe-
padlock was
or
still on there.
Maybe they were padlocked in there for a reason.
Maybe she let them out on me. Maybe
That
that's
would-
why I'm crazy.
That would be rude.
That would be rude. Any other?
I'm talking about state pen.
Yeah, we did go to the Missouri State Penitentiary, which is
Jefferson City, Missouri.
on a ghost hunting expedition, which was awesome.
It was a great time.
It was so cool.
Yeah, there was, we got to use a lot of like the ghost hunting equipment, EVP recordings, which we can also do that too.
Yeah.
Because I do have a voice recorder on my phone and we can just like ask questions and then sit in silence for a second and see if we hear anything like that.
Yeah.
We'll have to probably wear headphones, or I'll probably have to wear headphones whenever I listen back to it to see if
Oh, yeah,
if it's
yeah.
anything.
Most likely.
Because a lot of times if you just like play it back, you aren't likely to hear it. But if you wear headphones, you can hear like whispers and stuff.
Yeah. Understood.
But yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's like the blindfold.
We had that.
sensory.
Yeah. We had like EVP recorders. We had a spirit box. We had an electromagnetic field device too. We had all kinds of stuff.
We went
got
into cells of crazy people.
Yep, we got to go into a whole bunch of different cells. We didn't get to go into the gas chamber.
No, we saw the gas chamber. We
saw it,
didn't
but
get to
we
go
didn't
in because I think the group was too big, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And they were like,
I was
we want to
thinking-
give you
I was
enough
thinking
time.
They split us up into like
Yeah.
3 different groups. And
Yeah,
we
and they
were
were-
different places.
Yeah, and they were like, we want to give everyone enough time to see everything, so we're not going to get into it. But if you want to, do a different one that's more of an overnight, you might actually get to go in.
Yeah.
Because this was only like a 4-hour one, and there was an overnight that was like an 8-hour one.
Yeah, which I mean that's.
We showed you go to, yeah.
But yeah, so we did all of that. We wandered around the prison and everything, which was super cool. And then at some point, they kind of like cut us loose and said, go wherever you want. Just make sure that you come back here in like 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we did. We wandered off and we decided to go down to isolation, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
Not isolation.
It was a basement.
Solitary confinement.
There
That's
you
what
go. Yeah, it was a
solitary
basement
confinement.
area.
Yeah, it was in a basement. It was solitary confinement, and we were told a story earlier on in the tour about one of the prison guards that worked specifically in solitary confinement that had a large dog that was used to kind of keep the prisoners in line. Essentially, it was very much a this dog like would bark and snipe at people and be like it'd keep them from acting out.
Like there was, the country
It's like
song
gardening.
about, the country song about the dog who was like Old Red or whatever. There was a whole country song about a dog called Old Red that like chased prisoners. That's literally what this
Yeah,
song was.
pretty much. Yeah. It was basically a herding dog but for prisoners.
Yes.
So yeah, so
What a good boy.
So we were told about this dog earlier on in our tour, and then so whenever we're down there by ourselves, We're like about halfway through like the corridor that has all of the solitary confinement.
We were leaving.
We were leaving, that's right.
We were leaving. That's the part that creeps me out, because this is how I remember it, was that we had tried to like occur something and we just weren't hearing anything. And we were a little defeated at this point. So we're like walking, we are halfway down the specific corridor, because it was like a 90-degree and here was the door.
Yep.
So we had turned the corner, we were like halfway down this hallway.
Yep, that's what I was
and
thinking.
all of us turn around at the exact same moment, because we all at the same time hear a dog bark.
We heard a growl.
Was it a growl?
It was a growl. It was like
Okay.
a deep guttural, almost like demon, like monster growl.
I just heard a noise. I don't even.
Dude.
I was so freaked out. I'm not even gonna lie. My memory is
No, I
shit.
remember, like, the-
I was so freaked out. I don't remember the sound. I just remember I flipped around and everyone else was flipped around too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Yes,
"What was
we all
that?"
heard that deep growl, and then we were all like, fuck that."
we
We ran
literally ran out. We were like, "No, no, no,
and
no,
so
no."
we all turned around and we were like, "Did you hear that? I heard that. You heard that? Fuck. Dip." And so that was pretty much the only experience we had while we were there. 'Cause
It really was.
we
It
took
was a pretty.
pictures, we took EVPs. Like,
I
we did
think
all that
especially
stuff.
when there's so many people, it's difficult for there to be a lot of like access through the barrier, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's,
Because, you know-
it's so crowded with so many people, and it's like they'll come out. That's probably why the dog growled. He's like, "Can you fucking people go?
He's probably like,
We're
"Get
trying to
out."
be ghosts in peace."
Yeah, dog's probably like, "Get out." Okay, that's fine. I'll get
Yeah,
out.
yeah. We'll leave.
No
Sorry,
no
sir.
problemo,
Sorry.
my
Bye
dog.
bye.
Yeah, so that was our experience of whenever we were at State Penn. The only other thing that I could think of was whenever we were in that when we were on the floor in that huge room with all of the jail cells that went like up the walls.
Yes,
And
the
that
actual
was, like,
that was the
rocks
actual
being thrown or
dormitory.
something?
Yeah, that was the actual dormitory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like,
there was a couple of rocks that like
got
fell
thrown.
through.
Yeah, but I chalked that up to probably the hosts of the tour, trying to
sure.
make something.
I will
happen.
say there was a girl who, if I remember correctly, she was down in the showers, and they were saying, like, as we were leaving, the girl was walking up and saying, like, she was hearing stuff in the showers.
Well, that's cool.
It's a paranormal hotspot, is really what it is. Like, it is constant activity.
Yeah, I love those types of places. I want to go to more of them. There's like a haunted house up in St. Joe that I really want to go to.
Hell
also.
yes, we should do like a weekend trip and do that.
Yes. So yeah, really want to do that. We didn't really have a whole lot, or at least I haven't had a whole lot happen to me since then. I haven't seen anything, haven't really heard anything. The only thing I can think of is that John and I went on a haunted tour in the Cave of the Winds in Colorado. And there was a spirit that lives in the caves that was the wife of the owner of the caves that liked to play tricks on people that were going through tours through the caves.
Yes, you did tell me about
She
that.
likes to continue to pull pranks on people even in the afterlife. And I swear at one point I felt somebody tug on one of the wings on my backpack.
That's so cute.
So it was cool.
No, the only.
Other than that, I haven't really had anything. Besides, like, maybe the occasion.
No, I mean, even at the motel, like, sounds really morbid. There were a lot of people that were unalived there, but I don't remember having any real paranormal activities happen there. I also had my cats while I was there, and cats are great protectors.
Oh yeah.
And so I usually, while I'm around them, I usually don't have any issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's why at your house, I figured I was just hearing shit because the cats were there. Like, I haven't had any issues since I've had cats around me.
Skinwalkers aren't scared of cats.
I didn't even know what fucking Skinwalker was.
Well, I'll have to show you. When we're done.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's kind of the experiences that
Oh, you were gonna talk about the. Oh no, I guess you kind of did about your Ouija board experience.
Yeah, so that was, I kind of did a short synopsis. So basically, we were in a high school show choir. It was an all-girls show choir. One of the girls, her family lived in one of the oldest houses in our hometown. And that was a house that's been up since like the 1800s when Kansas City was established. It was one of the first houses here. Literally as old as McCoy's.
Yeah.
Is really, or not McCoy's.
Kelly's.
As old as Kelly's. Like it is old. And they actually they not only have like the slave back passageways, like the back stairwells and stuff, but they also have like hidey holes and cupboards where they would hide people who were using the Underground Railroad, because those stairs were established before the slavery, and then you also gotta remember Missouri was technically a southern state and all that fight, and it was just things. But they were actually trying to help smuggle slaves out to freedom. And so we did a makeshift Ouija board. So we did where we wrote on letters, we arranged it in front of us on little pieces of paper. We had the yes, no, hello, goodbye, numbers, letters, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we all put our hands on it, and then just silence. Which I also didn't know at this point, that you're not supposed to think of someone who's actually lived, because that can create some bad juju. And I was thinking of my mother's biological father, who had passed and was a drunken, rapey bastard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a positive energy to bring to.
Again, did not know.
The
And then we were all sitting there trying to ask questions, get answers. People were pretending to push the pendulum around or whatever, or the planchette around or whatever. And I just noticed Mac is what they go by now. Mac. They were sitting one or two people down from me, and they were just disassociating so fucking hard. Like we all tried to wake Mac up, could not wake Mac up. They were like that for 10, 15 minutes. And then when they came to, they said they felt really weird, they didn't feel right, they wanted to go home. And so we were like, okay, we're done with that.
definitely sounds like at least mild possession.
Yeah,
Or at least an attempted possession.
yeah, it was not fun. None of us were happy about that. And then I did kind of try to play with Ouija later, I won't lie. It was one of those makeshift ones, but I didn't even make it right, because I wasn't like actually committed to it. It was more of a joking type thing of, I want to play around with this thing. And so I did the same thing of writing letters on pieces of paper, but I didn't like do candles, I didn't do a planchette, I didn't do any of that. I was just like playing around, because there was a house, this was right before I lived with you. There was a house that was down the street that was literally, and this is in a town where a block can have 5 or 6 houses. This entire house was on its own block, with a gate around it.
Damn. Big ass
Um, And the house was in the center. There was grass all around it, and no one had touched this house in easily 15, 20 years. It has looked like this since I know it. And regularly when I would pass this house, doesn't matter day or night, I would see someone in one of the upstairs windows. Did not look like a homeless person. Looked like a person. I couldn't tell if it was a guy or girl, because I don't know how old it was.
A human figure.
It was a human figure in a white cloakish gown looking thing. Which is why I say I don't know if it was a woman or a man, because of the fact that it...
Hard to tell. They're covered up in coffee.
Yeah, and that could be a dressing gown or anything like that. So like, so many things it could have been. But like regularly in that second story window, I still can picture it. Like just this person standing in that window. And if you like looked away for a second, it would disappear. Every time.
Somebody watching you through the window. Somebody be peeping.
So yeah.
Some of our experiences with ghosts.
Yeah. We've been doing the things.
I suppose I can go over what I have set out as far as protection is concerned, because I wanted to make sure that we were as safe as possible from any negativity that might be in the house.
Yes.
Since we are, essentially opening a door, we are opening a conversation. I want to protect both of us from anything that might wish to do us harm.
Yeah.
Not that I make the assumption that there's anything here that wishes to do us harm, but
You kind of have to be better. You gotta be safe rather than sorry on
Yeah.
that one.
Precisely. So I have some bones with protective sigils on them. These are Wiccan and Norse and astral protective symbols. And then I also have candles lit. They're white and yellow. No, oh, they're all white. They're all white. Okay, and then white is good colors for purification, protection, strength. I actually have my book of shadows.
I will actually be right back. Pause for 2 seconds.
Yeah,
so I can-
you pause it on your way.
Yeah, I just need to. I need to grab like my cardigan because I am
Oh, you're very cold.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's all on you. Your
I
pants.
I can still feel bad for you though.
The pants that I stole from you were very warm.
Well, that's good.
Back.
Hey.
Ooh.
All right. Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
This is not at all regular.
It's really not.
But let's get back to the programming.
Yeah. So in my book of shadows, my white candles, because I have the different colors of candles in here and what they mean.
Yes.
So for white candles, we have healing, spirits, protection, welcoming, truth, invoking, harmony, blessing, wholeness, cleansing.
Hell yeah.
So
That
I
sounds
have
like
white
a good
candles.
candle. That sounds
that's
like
the
a good
perfect
candle.
candle color for what we're gonna do. I have a couple of different stones with me. I have clear quartz, which is good for just enhancing the powers of everything that it's around. So enhancing the powers of the candles, enhancing the power of the protective sigils, things like that. And then I also have pyrite or fool's gold, which is used for protection. And then I have my pendulum board, which has yes, no, maybe, and rephrase written on the outer edges, along with my bloodstone pendulum.
This is going to be our main
And this
way
is how we
of...
will ask questions of
Yes.
sorts without it being in Ouija board form, because we want to give the spirit a way to communicate without it being a
doorway.
a doorway. Yes.
This is more like a telephone.
Yeah. And less like a a gate.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, oh man, my chain's all tangled.
Oh no.
Fuck. I'm gonna have to fix it.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I also have, I brought my little baggie of runes. It's another way that we could communicate. If we just pull one out of the baggie, then we can see what the rune means out of my book of shadows, and that can be kind of like a way that the spirit answers us if they want to, based on what questions we decide to ask.
And then again, we can also do EKG and...
I say we can do, EVPs.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you say EKG? That makes me giggle so hard.
I mean, I know it was something like that.
Yeah. EKG is just the electrical.
Yeah.
It's echocardiogram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, I'm sorry, electrocardiogram. So it's, yeah.
Grey's Anatomy, bitch.
Vet tech literally went through how to even
Way too
how
much
to
schooling.
read those and what the different wavelengths mean and shit. Yeah, so I have my bloodstone pendulum. That's what that looks like. So I have that for whenever we'd like to use it. And then at the very end of all of this,
whenever we are finished asking questions, we say goodbye, we blow out the candles, close the circle, that kind of thing, or dissipate the circle. Then I have a smudge stick to go around the house with and cast any negativity out of the house that may be messing with you.
Good.
So
Good.
I have that. We'll start down here,
Yeah.
work our way through the kitchen, living room, bedrooms, and finish with the door out to the front door.
Perfect.
And then that way we take everything from downstairs up
It's like
and
sweeping.
towards the front.
Yeah, it's like
that's
sweeping.
how you should always cleanse a house, is in a sweeping motion, going from the deeper innermost portion of the house out and through the front door.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh, I say.
Always lead your spirits towards an exit.
Got it.
Yeah. So, how do you want to start?
Oh, fucking no.
Well, whatever spirits may be here, hello.
What's up?
We come with
Hi, Grandma
positivity
Phyllis.
and kindness and curiosity and open-mindedness, open-heartedness. We mean no ill will, no harm. We just want to ask questions and give you an opportunity to talk.
Indeed.
I watch too many ghost shows.
I haven't watched enough in preparation of this. I should have been doing research,
it was
man.
my fucking thing to watch ghost shows.
I've
as a kid.
seen them, but I just haven't
enjoyed
watched it
scaring
in
the
so
piss
long.
out of myself with the idea of the afterlife.
I just haven't seen any ghost shows or watched anything in so long. Like I said, I should have been way more prepared for this, but my brain has just not been on it, and so I'm just like coasting through.
You are as open as you need to be.
Hello.
Yeah. It's just an acceptance of the unknown.
Yes.
So, yeah. If there is anyone here who would like to make themselves known, please feel free to do so.
You
You are
can.
welcome to.
You can blow out a candle if
You
you
are
want.
welcome to blow out a candle, make something move, knock on something.
Yeah, you like knocking on doors.
That
right?
is not helpful.
There's also other sounds because we are in a basement.
We're in
so,
a basement with roommates who are upstairs doing things.
Yes.
Which
So-
makes it difficult to discern what noises are them and what noises are not them.
Well, Ghosty Friend knows about roommates, so let's also put out there that if you would like to make a knocking noise, that you do so in a way that we can understand that it is in fact you.
Yeah. Try not to make noises upstairs.
Yeah, if you can make them like
'Cause
down
that makes it
here,
confusing.
that'd be great.
Yes.
But like you can blow out a candle.
So feel free to move something. We can always give it like a few minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes them a minute to build up the courage and or strength to do so.
Yeah, candles are dancing a little bit.
Yeah, there's not a lot of wind flow down here.
There's like no wind flow. Because
Like
that
candle in the middle is staying pretty still, but this one's going pretty crazy.
this one's kind of like floating a little bit, but yeah,
This
no.
one's
And
half the
the,
part.
and what just kicked on is our airflow. So this hasn't been happening. Like this isn't like
Yeah. And that goes upstairs. That doesn't really. that
yeah,
doesn't
no,
really-
we're not getting anything in here. You know, smoke's even dancing a little bit. Yeah, it's still moving a little bit.
My hand's protected. It does move more when my hands move away though, so I do wonder if it's an actual like airflow that's blowing on it somehow. Because it does move more whenever I take my hands away.
Yeah, there is a slight airflow. It's not like a lot, but it's a little bit.
I am gonna be like kind of a little nitpicky and scientific about this because like I go into places with the expectation of like, yeah, something awesome's gonna happen. I'm gonna see a ghost, and then like nothing fucking happens
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is frustrating because like I want to experience things.
respectful way as
Big Grandpa Phil.
or Grandpa Phil, whichever you are, whoever you are, you enjoy playing tricks on us.
Almighty
You
Elder.
or Elder
Vadian.
Vadian.
Almighty Elder Vadian. We're inclusive as fuck here, y'all.
Hopefully this ghost is not a conservative or we're all fucked.
Most likely they are, though, because, like, probably most of them.
Depends on how hard the government screwed him before you died.
Oh, I know.
Like,
That's fair.
our poor.
When they died, because
our
who knows,
poor
they could be getting haunted by ghosts from the 80s. It wasn't all that long ago.
Yeah, but
In the grand scheme of things.
the oldest of our peoples, they just tend to get really screwed over by the government towards the end there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Of course.
And so if they got screwed hard enough, they may be like, fuck the government. In which case, heck yeah.
Yeah.
You might have to cut
If
that part
there,
out.
if there is somebody there, again, please feel free to make a noise. We'll give you a moment of quietness. It's probably just me, but I almost feel like I heard this right now.
Here's something, but I thought it was good.
Did it very well. Like I said, it could just be.
Well, if you are here, you might be a little shy, that's okay. We're pretty chill.
We're probably the first people who have like acknowledged your existence in a long time.
Probably.
And that's okay.
And that's, yeah, no, we're chill, we're cool. Well, so
They
maybe
just
we'll
think
play.
we're really weird.
Maybe we should try like this. Maybe this is a little easier, so you don't have to like make everything known. You can just like answer from wherever you are, so you don't have to like talk to us like through this. Like we can.
You can ask
try.
questions different ways. Or we can
Yeah.
ask, you can communicate different ways. Whichever way is easiest.
We'll try this, and that way we can maybe ask you just again yes or no questions. Nothing hard, nothing major, nothing scary.
Let me know when
Okay. Let's ask it. We do the asking out loud, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So I thought. Let's go with, are you an elderly person? Getting real heavy no
Yeah,
on
me
that.
too.
That was kind of starting to be my intuition. I don't know why, but that last thing made me wonder, are you a child?
Set it down and restart.
Yeah, let's.
Every time we ask a question, I'll stop it.
Oh,
and
okay.
Restart it.
Yeah, no, my next thing is, are you a child? Because I'm getting child vibes.
Excuse you.
Oh, okay, okay. It's saying yes, it's saying yes. It's saying this is definitely a child. Okay, okay, cool. Cool, well, hello, maybe that's why a little shy. Let's go ahead and put that down. And let's see, do you have any questions, Kylie? Now that we know that this is a child that we're dealing with, which is slightly more terrifying, but
Did you live here?
okay. So yeah, I did.
Let's say, 'cause there are, of course, the questions that you never ask.
Yeah, no, we don't need to ask any of those. So was this your house?
Trying to start it like still in the middle.
me not answer that one. Are you all right? Let's. Maybe that one was a bit much. Maybe we're not liking that
Maybe we
question.
don't, or maybe we don't know how to answer.
Okay.
Like maybe it wasn't always his house.
Okay. So let's stop there. Are you?
Big circles.
Yes, big circles.
So it was doing circles like.
Yeah, it was
based on
circling the
word.
whole
Like
inside
the whole
without
inside
actually
word.
touching any of the words.
Yeah.
So giving us definitely a vibe that maybe they're not sure. Are you a boy? Let's go with
That's
that. Are you a boy? Okay, I'm getting definite yes on that. Cool, okay, so we're dealing with a little boy. Okay, we love that. We can go ahead and stop that for now. We appreciate the answer.
I'm gonna move this candle just a little bit so that way they can see what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Because the
absolutely.
board is like right behind the candle.
Yeah, that's not very helpful, is it?
We're like making this shit up.
Are you the one that? Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was gonna say we can take a moment.
No, you're good. I'm good.
Okay. I was just gonna ask if you're the one who's been knocking on the doors for me and Bree. Yeah, I thought so. That was a definite immediate yes. Immediate yes.
That's getting even harder. He's like, yep, that was me.
Okay.
Great times.
Okay.
Great times.
All right. Do we think that was funny? Is that the vibe we're getting here, little one? Is that the vibe? Is that we think this was funny? Maybe.
All right.
This kid's funny. So, like we said, we have yes, maybe, no, and rephrase on the board. And we asked if they
Currently
thought it was.
swinging it maybe.
Or I asked if they thought this was funny, and they said maybe. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Ooh, I don't know. Is there anything you're wanting to ask? Are you trying to warm it up a little bit?
No,
Oh, okay.
more cleansing than anything.
Gotcha. All right. I'm gonna take a hit. Take a moment. Take a breath.
It's also part of the reason why I was holding my clear cords too,
That's what I figured.
rubbing it into my hands to. So I know that you don't care, but while you're upstairs, I stole a hit.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like I said, I know that you don't care. But
Not
I'm gonna
even a
tell
little.
you anyway.
Definitely not even a little. I don't know what else I want to ask you. Do you have any questions you want to ask?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good experience. I know you want
Are you
more to-
happy? Are you still happy here? Be a good one.
Yeah, we could ask
Or are
them.
you happy you're still here? Or
Are you happy?
are you
to-
sad you haven't moved on? Or
I was gonna say, do we want to go towards that though? Because what if he's
we don't have to.
If he's not happy, things get bad.
Why would things get bad if I asked him the question?
Not if you asked him a question, but if you were like talking about like passing on and stuff.
Well, sometimes ghosts don't know that they need to.
Okay.
Especially little kids. Little kids have a hard time understanding that they're
I'm just always afraid everything's a demon.
on the other side, and I mean, it's still a possibility, but you know.
All right,
That's what
Go
all
for it.
protective shit is for.
go for it.
You can ask the question of the, do you know that you're dead?
Do we want to ask this question? I mean, if they don't know if they lived here or not, then you would think they kind of understand on some level that they're not here anymore.
It's fair. You don't have to answer any of those.
Do you think Adarius is a good singer? Circles? No. Oh, that's not nice.
Oh, maybe it's not the style of singing he likes.
That's true. It is more rap, hip hop, which is fair. I don't know a lot of kids that would be like, yeah, it's my favorite type.
Were you born in the 50s?
Ooh, okay, yeah, we can try to figure out how
Trying
it
to figure
is.
out how old you are. Or how old you were.
Yeah, like when you were, or yes, were you born in like the 1950s?
Trying to make it stand as still as possible. Looks like yes to me.
That's given, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
Okay.
yes to me.
Okay, so we're dealing with older. Okay,
Boy from 50s. That's cool.
cool. Okay,
I wonder when this house was built.
and I know
It
that
looks kind of.
there's a couple of. I mean, we have a couple of fire stations, and I know that there's police over here too. And so I'm sure this area was probably established maybe a little later. This might have been more on the outskirts, but I don't know. It's probably,
We'll go ahead and pause this. I'm gonna put the pendulum away. Okay.
okay.
What are your intentions as a spirit in the house? Are you just being prankster? Just having a good time? Or are you trying to scare them? In a malicious way?
I don't want to enter my email address. Screw you. Did I just pull out one?
A lot more. I figured that one would be our answer. Okay. So we pulled out.
I'll be able to find out mine. It's okay.
Looks like Manaz means man, humanity, self-reflection. So
That doesn't
for
seem
for
harmful.
selfish reasons.
I was gonna say that
For
doesn't
me,
seem
for
evil.
fun. Maybe it's more like fun. Like for me, it's for fun.
Yeah. He's the
Doing-
man.
doing it
It's
for
like I'm
me.
the man.
Yeah, I'm a big boy now. Scared of
That's-
girls.
Do you only are you I don't think I remember Sean. Do you only like scary girls?
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't remember
And breathe.
I was
That
gonna say
makes
'cause
sense.
I don't remember any of the guys saying they've been scared in this house. So
Okay.
that's an F.
Our next one is
What does it say?
Ansus.
God Odin?
God, it's the symbol for Odin. But the rune means advice, blessing, or inspiration. Maybe he's trying to tell you something.
So maybe he likes girls.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to tell girls something.
He's like, I feel connected with girls more than
Maybe, yeah.
with guys. I don't trust. Oh, you know what? 1950s. That makes a lot of sense. He wouldn't trust men as much. Men are scary and mean. Usually they're like, fuck you, I don't care. Grow a pair and get up. Whereas we're more like, or maybe we're the depressed bitches and he's trying to be nice to us. Either or.
Why are you trying to connect with the girls more?
Ooh, the why?
Oh God!
Oh, one flew out at us. Hold on.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
That,
One didn't do that before, so we'll take that as an answer.
Sound good to you? This is the symbol for Raido, R-A-I-D-O. Means the rune means writing, but it stands for healing, work, and journey.
Yeah, so because we're the depressed bitches. Got it. Got it. Did I not just say that?
You sure did.
I called that. Thanks, kiddo. Much appreciated.
All right. Okay.
Oh gosh. Is there some other way you'd like us to call you? I'm just calling you kiddo right now. Is that okay, or is there something else you'd rather me refer to you in a certain sense of? So, like, give me an idea. Got an X. It was a very nice X.
It is.
Me?
Now it is. Constraint distress. I'm gonna go with.
Okay, does not want me to call him kiddo. Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. Can you give us? Can you give me an idea of something you would like me to call you instead? It doesn't have to be. I understand you don't like that one. I will not call you that. Can you give me an idea of something else? Got the arrow.
Philly's what? Feywives. Justice, victory, warrior, or maybe he likes the name Tyr.
Tyr? Tyr work? Okay. I can call you Tyr.
Yeah. Justice, victory, warrior. So he wants to be called something triumphant.
I'll call you
Something
Victor.
cool.
I'll call you Victor.
Or maybe that is his name. His name is Victor.
Victor could be a name from the 1950s.
Yeah.
I can see that. Victor, Tyr, Victor, 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 Tyr.
Victor is a big boy name.
Victor's a boat captain.
Alright.
Do you want to be a boat captain? Would that make you excited to be a boat captain?
I might. You don't want to be a sailor.
No, I'm genuinely serious.
A
Like,
fisherman?
are we having this connection right now of you want to be like you like
Oh,
boats?
fisherman. Maybe that's why.
Oh, it's like an eye. It's just like a line. Ice.
So ice.
Blocked.
Stand still, inactivity. So maybe no.
So if you're like,
Locked, stand still, inactivity, or maybe he can't.
it's like I'm not old enough. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm-
Too little.
I'm too little. That's okay. That's
People
okay.
on your boat. I'm too little.
It's okay.
That's alright.
Well, maybe we'll take a pause from this and kind of go back to some yes or no questions now that we know a little bit more. We can ask a little bit more about if he likes that name. Yeah, no, that'll be. Well, it's also cold, but I was also.
It's cold. I'll tell you, it feels like it's colder.
It is. Well, of course, it dropped temperature, babe.
No, I know.
I was gonna say it's definitely. It's. He's definitely cold. It's almost 8 o'clock, and it is. Nope, that's the wrong app. I do that every time.
Did you figure out how old this house is?
28. No, there's no way for me to find out online. Unless I wanna call.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's 28 degrees. It's below freezing.
You feel like you need that?
Well, I just feel like if we're transitioning, it's a good thing to touch. good
Again,
thing
for
to-
the sake of being consistent.
Yeah.
And it not seeming like I'm forging answers.
You're gonna have me do it
I'll
though.
have you do it.
Okay. All right.
Literally, I literally all I did was I just like held it by this end,
Mhm.
just the end with the little ball on it, and I sat it in the middle, and I tried to start it as still as I possibly could, and then whatever way it started to go, like if it starts going in a specific direction, I just let it do its thing.
Okay.
So, what questions do we want to ask now? Was your daddy a sailor? Well, if he wants to be on a boat,
Maybe he doesn't want to be on a boat. Did you? Okay. What was the answer to that question? Do you want to be on a boat? Do you want to be? Do you like the water?
And just lift straight up, and then just let it go in whatever direction.
I'm getting maybe. It's very subtle, like he doesn't really want to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. What about Victor? Did we do good?
Do we hit the nail on the head with the name? It's your name.
Do
Victor?
we like the name Victor? Since there's no real way to communicate, do we hold on, sorry. Do we like the name Victor? Circles. Oh. I'm getting a yes.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to go to yes. There it goes.
It's just struggling.
Yeah.
It's I feel that.
He
I
could be
should.
getting tired too.
Yeah.
This might be a lot of energy exertion for him.
But okay.
I'm
so-
definitely leaning towards seeing.
Yeah,
it
so we like
sway
Victor.
towards yes.
So we have the ghost named Victor who likes to play pranks on the girls because we're fun to hang out with.
Yeah, because he likes you.
Because we're depressed
This
bitches.
little boy named Victor who likes to hang out with his girlfriend and play pranks on them.
That sounds alright. That definitely
At
sounds
least
right.
now you know.
Yeah, I know. That's great. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think we're getting a little cold. I think Victor's getting a little tired. I think maybe it's time to say goodbye
Yep.
to
I think
Victor.
now's
Thank you
probably a
for
good time for us to recharge your energy. Again, we meant no harm by any of this. I'm
No,
sorry if any
not at
questions
all.
upset you.
Not at all. We're glad you
Um,
reached out and talked to us a little bit and
Thank you.
made us giggle a little bit. And we understand now, like, you know, who you are and that you mess with us because you feel connected to us, which is really sweet. And we thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll definitely have to do this again sometime.
Yeah. I'll say feel free to reach out to us at some point or at any point if you'd like to. We're here to listen. If you make noises or anything, we'll know that it's you.
Heck yeah. Now we can just be like, Victor,
Yeah, go.
you dope. Why you doing this? But okay, well,
Thank you very much for reaching out. Go recharge, and you're safe.
thank you
We're
and
not going to hurt
goodbye.
you, and we hope that you don't hurt us.
Thank you and very much, and have a good night and goodbye to you, Victor. And on that note, podcast friends, I think we will also say
If anything,
goodbye
maybe
to
the
you.
last thing we'll do is, I don't know if we want to record us doing the smudge stick too.
Maybe we can do like the walkthrough. Maybe like you can do like a time lapse on your phone,
Yeah,
and
that's
we
true.
can
We
put
do
that at the end
Yeah.
of us walking through. But
No
I think
worries.
on that note, we're gonna also say goodbye to you, our friends. And you know, it's getting cold, it's getting late. We're ready to say goodnight. We have said goodbye to our new friend Victor, and we will see you all next week. And you all have a good time. Again, our socials are the Care Bear Girl. Girls either GURL or GIRL on everything, including the OF. And then it's Midna Monstera or Mommy Monstera on everything. Our Mommy Monstera on OF. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you all next time.
See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.